HHS Secretary RFK Jr. calling on FDA Commissioner Marty Makary to review the latest data on abortion drugs after 6 pro-life medical groups wrote a letter saying, quote, Mifepristone is a high-risk abortion-inducing drug that is known to cause serious adverse effects and medical emergencies, including hemorrhage, sepsis, and incomplete abortions requiring surgical intervention. Joining me now is Dr. Susan Bain. She's the vice chair of the American Association of Pro-Life Obstetricians and Gynecologists Board of Directors, one of the organizations that is behind this letter. Doctor, I'm so glad to have you on this morning. It's so important because we don't hear a lot about mifepristone. So let our viewers understand why you believe this drug is very dangerous and should be regulated.
Thank you for having me this morning.
Of course.
You know, on July 8th, 6 medical organizations representing approximately 30,000 medical professionals who are passionate about providing excellent and evidence-based medicine, we did write a letter to Secretary Kennedy and FDA Commissioner Dr. Makary. And that letter was calling out a need to focus on an urgent public health crisis of unregulated abortion drugs. You know, in our country, approximately 60% of abortions now are induced using these drugs. And one of them is mifepristone. And mifepristone is a dangerous and high-risk drug. A recent report, or 2 recent reports that came out, show that the risk for serious adverse events is about 1 in 9 women. And my colleagues who cover the emergency department, they're seeing these risks. They're seeing hemorrhage so severe that women need transfusions. Women need emergency surgery. I see women in the outpatient clinic. All my patients have unplanned pregnancies in the 4 pregnancy centers I see. And when they decide to go have an abortion, the stories they share are horrific. They come back and they say that in the abortion clinics, they don't get an individualized informed consent. They're in a room with 20 women and they can't ask questions. They tell me that they're told that it'll be a little worse than a period, when in reality, the ones who've had children before say, I felt like I was in labor again and I'm at home. These women have no ongoing medical care. They're at home in their dorms, their bathrooms, their apartments, and they're delivering babies sometimes the size of the palm of their hand. It's horrific substandard care.
No, there's no question about it. And the numbers may be higher because I interviewed a former Planned Parenthood abortion director, and she's told me that they were told, she as a director was told, that they told the patients if they had an episode or some sort of hemorrhaging, to call emergency and to say that they were having a miscarriage. So we don't even really know how many are from mifepristone because the numbers are not clear. And you talk about the emotional and psychological impact as well of having, you know, to deliver a baby on your own, not understanding exactly what the consequences are. Well, we really hope that RFK looks into this, and Marty Makary as well. Your last thoughts on what you want, because these are provided by mail to children and people who are underage as well.
Yeah, anybody can get access to these. They can go online, they can lie, they can say who they are. We're hearing story after story of women being pressured and coerced, where people are actually ordering them and forcing them to take them. I recently had a patient call who wanted to stop her abortion because a man did that to her. And I was able to prescribe her progesterone back, and because mifepristone blocks progesterone, and she's pregnant now. And so what we really want from the FDA is the recent data to be a signal to them to protect women and to look at the safety of these drugs.
Yeah. The horror stories often are on TikTok, where women are telling their stories of what has happened to them from taking these abortion drugs at home. Doctor, we really appreciate you joining us and telling us more about this, and we hope that your letter gets a response. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Senator Josh Hawley, R. Missouri, accused the Food and Drug Administration, FDA, of endangering women's health, saying the agency approved another chemical abortion drug without the thorough safety review it had promised. Hawley argued the move shows both regulatory failure and the influence of a company that refuses to define woman in its materials. This is shocking. FDA has just approved another chemical abortion drug, when the evidence shows chemical abortion drugs are dangerous and even deadly for the mother. And of course, 100% lethal to the child, he wrote on X on Thursday afternoon. FDA had promised to do a top-to-bottom safety review of the chemical abortion drug. But instead, they've just green-lighted new versions of it for distribution. I have lost confidence in the leadership at FDA. Avita Solutions describes its mission as one to normalize abortion and make it accessible to all. On its website, the company says it believes that all people should have access to safe, affordable, high-quality, effective, and compassionate abortion care, regardless of their race, sex, gender, age, sexuality, income, or where they live. We know that you can make the best choice for your body. According to the FDA, Avita received approval in a September 30th letter obtained by Reuters. In an interview with Fox News Digital, Hawley said the FDA's decision was even more troubling given its promised safety review has barely begun. I can't figure out what's happening at the FDA. I'm totally baffled by it, Hawley said. Fox News Digital has reached out to the FDA and Avita Solutions for comment on the matter. In another post, Hawley blasted the FDA for partnering with a company that doesn't even believe there is such a thing as a woman. Avita Solutions now joins GenBioPro in producing the generic version of Mifepristone, the abortion pill originally made by Danco Laboratories. Mifepristone blocks progesterone, a hormone needed to sustain pregnancy, and is followed by misoprostol to complete the process. The approval comes as abortion drugs face mounting opposition from conservative lawmakers, religious organizations, and pro-life groups. Religious groups like Inspire Investing and Alliance Defending Freedom have campaigned against the drug, while the Restoration of America Foundation, ROAF, has pressed lawmakers for accountability. Last month, Rove called on the Senate Finance Committee to hold Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. accountable at a hearing, demanding answers about the removal of safety protocols for the abortion pill Mifepristone. In a letter obtained by Fox News, ROAF warned that the rollback leaves women more vulnerable and shifts costs to taxpayers. The group said the Biden-era changes endanger women by allowing abortion pills to be prescribed via telehealth and sent through the mail. Hawley said the FDA should restore the safeguards put in place under the Trump administration. What needs to happen is the FDA needs to get in line with the president's policy and put back into place the safety regulations President Trump had. Ditch the Biden approach and go back to President Trump's approach, Hawley said. Under the Biden administration, the FDA for the first time allowed telehealth prescribing and mail-order delivery of abortion pills. Previously, the agency required mifepristone to be dispensed in person to screen for complications such as ectopic pregnancy.